And good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Maddie Jansen. You've been watching an NBC News special report of the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump. We are carrying that live on our website, KGET.com, and on our Facebook page. You can continue watching there, and we will rejoin after the news at noon. But right now, let's catch you up on what's happened so far this morning. The crucial question of whether witnesses will be allowed seems to have been all but answered. After Senators Lamar Alexander and Lisa Murkowski, both swing votes, have said they will not vote for new testimony. The trial could end as early as tonight or Saturday. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has the latest from Washington.
As the Senate impeachment trial of President Trump resumed this afternoon, Republican hopes of a fast acquittal were fading. The New York Times released another bombshell from the forthcoming book by former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who alleges the president enlisted him in a politically motivated pressure campaign involving Ukraine and the Bidens last May.
Well, what this does is it moves up the timetable on Trump's involvement. In May, there was a meeting in the Oval Office in which Trump said to Bolton, call Zelensky and make sure that he'll meet with Giuliani.
Bolton claims one of the White House lawyers participating in the impeachment trial, Pat Cipollone, was in the room and heard what the president said.
Well, there's a new fact which indicates that Mr. Cipollone was among those who were in the loop. Yet another reason why we ought to hear from witnesses.
The White House issued a statement this afternoon saying that meeting never happened. The GOP secured enough votes to block new witnesses after Tennessee Senator Lamar Alexander decided against hearing additional testimony, writing the president's behavior in the Ukraine controversy was inappropriate, but does not meet the United States Constitution's high bar for an impeachable offense. President Trump in Iowa last night predicting his reelection.
We will make sure that they face another crushing defeat. Right?
But first, the president faces his day of judgment in the U.S. Senate. Republicans are hoping to wrap this up tonight or tomorrow, bringing an end to the impeachment process that began last fall. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
And don't forget, you can get a full wrap-up of the day's proceedings in our 15-minute long web-exclusive impeachment wrap. Where does America stand? It airs at 6:45 p.m. on KGET.com. 17 Court Watch now this morning. A man convicted of molesting children in an in-home McFarland daycare was sentenced. This morning, Judge Michael Delestrito sentenced 57-year-old Armando Villanueva to 190 years to life in prison. Statements from victims were read in court, one stating, "You stole my innocence." The mother of another victim told Villanueva he'd scarred her family for life. Villanueva sat quietly beside his attorney as he heard his sentence. The judge said he took into consideration both the protection of the victim's privacy and the safety of Villanueva when he decided not to allow cameras in court this morning. And we're awaiting a verdict in the trial of Michaele Bowers. Today, jury deliberations continue in that murder case. Bowers admits to killing longtime boyfriend Ray Ingram. Prosecutors claim she killed him after finding out about ongoing infidelity. But the defense says she shot Ingram in self-defense after tolerating decades of physical, emotional, and mental abuse. If found guilty, Bowers faces life in prison. The Kern High School District says it's committed to serving all students equally, as new data points out a disparity in suspension rates by race. The district held a community forum at West High last night. Data shows that in the fall semester, the suspension rate for all students was 5.8%. And the suspension rate for African Americans was double that of Hispanics and whites, respectively. District leaders say they understand there's need for improvement, but maintain their commitment to the success and well-being of all students.
As I read and hear about individual narratives that continue to espouse that the Kern High School District systematically endorses discriminatory practices toward Black and Hispanic students, I am deeply disturbed because that is false. The narrative that is not espoused enough is that every day over 4,000 Kern High School District employees come to work and give their best to service over 40,000 students.
Before the meeting, activists with the Dolores Huerta Foundation and others held a march demanding the district be transparent. West High School senior Belen Delgado helped organize the march. She says students of color feel isolated at school.
Predominantly predominantly African American and Latino students, and a lot of those students don't feel comfortable in their classes. They don't see themselves represented in the teachers. So I personally think that we do have a problem with racism in the Kern High School District.
Following the march, activists held a news conference in which they called for more diversity among faculty. District leaders say they're working on creating a diverse set of teachers, but they also acknowledge there are challenges due to a teacher shortage. Meantime, the district set to hold its first equity summit in March to discuss next steps on these matters. All right, let's check out that Friday forecast. Looking beautiful for the weekend.
And we're on our way up to a warm weekend. Taking you outside, and we've got a little bit of a haze out there, along with a few high clouds. It's hard to see the mountain due to the air quality as this ridge of high pressure kind of builds on in here as we get closer to Saturday. But you can see nothing being picked up on satellite and radar because the clouds are just too thin for it to pick up. But the one thing is we could use a little bit of rain. We're kind of in this dry period right now. We're not officially in a drought. What does a dry period mean? It means our soil has been relatively dry. We haven't had a lot of rain. Dryland crops germination has been somewhat stunted around the state. Active fire season begins. And also, winter resort visitation is low because of minimal snowpack, which we're down from where we were last year at this time. So that's what a dry period means. 58 degrees for Bakersfield right now under a calm wind. As we take a look at the day here, we are expecting the mid to upper 60s and then slipping back into the 40s late tonight and early tomorrow morning. 59 in Tehachapi right now under a calm wind, and throughout the day we'll be looking at some lower 60s before we slide back into the 40s. Tomorrow a warm day, and then a chance of rain is headed our direction. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes, Maddie.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. 3 people, including 2 children, were taken to the hospital for carbon monoxide poisoning this morning. The Kern County Fire Department said around 5:30 a.m., firefighters were called to a home in East Bakersfield. They found the adult and 2 kids suffering dizziness, fatigue, nausea, and shortness of breath. KCFD said the home did not have a carbon monoxide alarm installed. The department urges the community to install and regularly test carbon monoxide alarms in their homes to protect from the colorless and odorless gas. It's been a violent start to 2020. Over 31 days, 11 lives lost at the hands of another. Of the 11 homicides this year, 4 were teenagers. 3 teens were killed in Lamont 3 weeks ago. Then last Tuesday, a 17-year-old was killed after being stabbed several times near Foothill High School. 17 News caught up with Manny Carrizales of Stay Focused Ministries, which has been reaching out to at-risk youth for 30 years in Bakersfield. He says this is a community issue.
It takes the community. This is a community problem. You know, this ain't no East Side problem. I mean, this is a community problem, man, because it's happening all over the city.
Carrizales and Stay Focused Ministries are out in neighborhoods spreading messages of hope, but most importantly, mentoring young people. Carrizales says being consistent is key to keeping kids and teens off the streets. Stay Focused Ministries runs a mentorship program called Reach for Greatness, and they're always in need of volunteers. If you'd like to see the full digital report on this month's homicide count and check out our homicide tracker with more information on the victims and cases, head to KGET.com and click on the homicide tracker icon. 17 News at your local election headquarters. We're just over a month away from Election Day, which means it's time to get to know the people hoping to represent you in office. A series of 4 debates are set to take place right here on TV 17 next month, including the Bakersfield mayoral debate on Monday. Incumbent Mayor Karen Go will go head-to-head against challengers Gregory Tatum, a pastor with Change Church, and Joseph Caporale, a local actor and businessman. The live debate gets underway here on TV 17 and on our website and Facebook page at 7 p.m. Eitan Wallace and Jim Scott will moderate. Now to another big debate that always rages right after the Super Bowl. Which commercial was best? We'll have a preview coming up. And the latest on the spread of the coronavirus as the World Health Organization takes a big step. 17 Health Watch is after the break. And now to the latest on the coronavirus. The U.S. State Department's advising Americans not to travel to China. The move comes after the World Health Organization declared the outbreak of the new virus a global emergency. China says there are nearly 10,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus, and the death toll is now over 200. No deaths have been reported outside of China, but the virus has spread to more than a dozen countries, including the U.S. The State Department urges Americans currently in China to return to the U.S. Kern Public Health says there are no cases of coronavirus locally. In other health news this afternoon, current guidelines state that people should begin screening for colorectal cancer at age 50. But a new study suggests that screening should actually start earlier. Researchers from Tulane University looked at 15 years worth of data showing the incidence of colorectal cancer by year of age. They found the death rate of cases diagnosed between 49 and 50 increased by 46%. The vast majority of those cancers were invasive. In 2018, the American Cancer Society called for routine screenings to begin at age 45. A new study reveals daily drinking and smoking could age your brain more quickly. Researchers from the University of Southern California used MRI to compute the relative brain age of 11,000 middle-aged adults. They found people who smoked or drank most every day had a slightly higher brain age than less frequent smokers and drinkers. A reminder, we have another barbecue happening outside of our station next week. We're teaming up with the Bakersfield and Kern County Fire Departments for the Hook and Ladder Barbecue. $5 gets you a burger, chips, cookie, and a drink. The money raised will go to 2 foundations helping burn survivors and their families. It's happening 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. next Wednesday at Compassion Corner, right outside of our station here in downtown Bakersfield. And talk about some barbecue weather this weekend. Oh my gosh, going to be perfect.
Yeah, tomorrow's looking great, and next Wednesday will also be very nice for the barbecue, and we're going to be live out there for the entire noon broadcast, so we hope that you'll come out and say hello. And you can see high pressure is building on in, and we've got some high clouds to go with that, but still a great shot for downtown Bakersfield on this Friday. Take a look at our camera network. 58 degrees in Wasco under mostly sunny skies, 57 out of Frazier Park, 62 in Arvin and Golden Hills. Right now in the lower 60s with a few high clouds, but that is about it. As we take a look right now at other temperatures, you can see most of the valley is running into the upper 50s, lower 60s for the mountains, 59 in Tehachapi, 68 Lake Isabella, and we've got 60s out in the desert for Mojave at 61, and nothing really to show you on the satellite and radar, except again, we've got some high clouds, a little bit of a haze. If you're traveling I-5, things are looking good. Here's a camera at I-5 and Fraser Mountain Road, and you can see traffic is moving smoothly for this Friday. The reason for the high clouds, high pressure sitting offshore, kind of rotating a few of these high clouds into California. But that's all we're expected to see here until about Sunday. And then we're going to be tracking a system out to the west that's going to ride on the backside of the state. So we're not expecting to get a lot of rain and a lot of mountain snow, but it is in the forecast in light amounts as the ridge will break down. Let's talk about our snow forecast heading into Sunday into Monday. We will get some more snow into the Sierra, which is a good thing right now. And this extends into the Kern County mountains with very light amounts. We could see a few flurries along the passes, but I don't think it'll be enough snow to close anything down. When we talk about the Sierra snowpack, this is what we're looking at right now. 76% of normal in the north, the central at 70%, and the southern Sierra sits at 67% of normal. These numbers are low compared to where we were last year at this time, so any snow would be a good thing. As we take a look at our futurecast model and the rain and the snow for Kern County, you can see by the afternoon on Sunday it starts to push on in, and then we will see overnight possibly a brief section of snow into the Kern County mountains, and the snow level is going to drop by Sunday morning down about 1,300 feet, but I just don't think there's going to be a lot of moisture left with it, and you can see rain amounts are going to be so light, right around 300 of an inch for the valley and into the mountains, and very light amounts into the desert. Well, today is the last day of January, 0.24 in the rain gauge, so we are down for the month, down 0.88, and then since October 1st, the water year, 2.83, so we're down about a quarter of an inch. Here's a look at our forecast for the remainder of the day. And temperatures are going to be into the upper 60s, 69 in Bakersfield, 68 in Delano, 66 in Taft. As we take a look at the mountains in the Kern River Valley, we're looking at 63 in Frazier Park, Tehachapi at 61, and then for the Kern River Valley, we'll be right near 70 in Kernville. 69 Lake Isabella, and then for the desert, sunny skies, northeast wind right around 5 to 10, and a high of 66 in Mojave. Take a look at the extended forecast, and tomorrow, 72 degrees, and then you can see a chance of showers coming in late on Sunday, lingering into Monday. Look at the big cool down, 72 on Saturday to 48 on Monday, but then right back up near 62 by Thursday. And then for the mountains, also that change coming in late Sunday into Monday with the chance of rain and snow showers, all depend on your elevation. But then it is going to be cool on Monday, 36, back into the 50s by Thursday. And you can see the change into the Kern River Valley as well. On Monday, a high of only 44, so 74 to 44. That's
such a big change.
Big
Weather
change.
whiplash.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Thanks so much, Kev.
Yep.
Well, the big game is Sunday, but what is the Super Bowl without a super menu? Details on how you could score some free pizza as the players score points.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back in your 17 Business Watch, and taking a look at stocks this afternoon. The Dow is down 595 points so far in trading. The Nasdaq down 140 points, and the S&P 500 is down 57. Oil prices are also plunging. West Texas Intermediate down to $51.55 a barrel, and Midway Sunset at $55.89. Today is Earned Income Tax Credit Awareness Day. According to a survey by Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, 44% of respondents who make less than $40,000 a year don't know they may qualify for the EITC, and they could be leaving hundreds or even thousands of dollars in tax breaks on the table. The tax credit can be used to pay down debt or put away for a rainy day, but workers have to file a tax return and claim the credit in order to receive it. DiGiorno's making a bet this Super Bowl Sunday that could have you enjoying free pizza. The frozen pizza brand says if at any point during the game the score is 3-14 or 14-3, DiGiorno will give out free pizzas. Why that score? Well, that's 3.14, representing pi. DiGiorno says if that score happens, it plans to tweet out a link to a coupon for a free pizza. The coupons will be awarded on a first-come, first-served basis and only while supplies last. The company says once the score changes, the link ends. The coupons, though, will be redeemable in early March ahead of Pi Day. If you're hosting a party for Sunday's game or just watching at home, Liz McLaughlin has some tips and gadgets to get the most out of game day.
As Miami prepares to host the big game, fans around the country are gearing up to host watch parties and dig into their favorite football food. You don't need a deck to grill out with Phillips Smokeless Indoor Grill.
It's a nifty little grill that cooks using infrared heat.
A favorite of both Oprah and Queer Eye chef Anthony Porowski.
I love butter.
Make sure your unhealthy Super Bowl snacks are cooked to perfection with a digital thermometer like the ThermaPen.
It will give you a temperature within 0.7 degrees Fahrenheit in under 3 seconds.
And if you'd like a fizzy drink to wash down all those wings, the DrinkMate can carbonate just about anything.
Unlike the Soda Streams of the world, this carbonated beverage maker actually will put bubbles in any pulp-free drink, even alcoholic ones.
At kickoff, all eyes turn to the TV, a good excuse for retailers to offer deals and consumers to trade in old sets. With sales still live on 65-inch Expert Picks, LCD sets from TCL on sale for about $700, or double your budget for an LG OLED screen.
If you're looking at them side by side, you're really going to be blown away by the OLED TVs.
As screens get thinner, there's less room for quality built-in audio, but a soundbar provides an easy upgrade.
It's such a huge step up for a reasonably small investment over what you get just coming out of the TV.
Optimizing Super Bowl viewing so you don't miss a moment. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
And if you're not watching for the game Sunday, chances are you're watching for the commercials or the halftime show. How Jennifer Lopez and Shakira are shaking things up on the field and why they say this is such a momentous Super Bowl. Welcome back. The Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers aren't the only ones with a lot on the line on Super Sunday. Advertisers literally have millions riding on it. Mark Barger reports on what's in store.
It's the game before the game. Walmart unveiling its first ever Super Bowl ad days before Sunday's kickoff.
It really just allows you to get more mileage out of, such a big moment for the brand.
Advertisers spend $5.6 million just to air a 30-second Super Bowl commercial. Quick as smart. Even more spent making it.
Every year we learn something new and we take that into the process.
Lessons that led to Lil Nas X and Sam Elliott touting Cool Ranch Doritos.
You can't touch this.
And MC Hammer introducing Cheetos popcorn.
There will not be a commercial break without some face that you recognize.
Star power that includes Bryan Cranston in a lighter version of a horror classic.
Here's Mountain Dew Zero.
I am thirsty.
We're trying to get a fast start to this fantastic product.
But some companies keep ads secret right up till game day.
Look, it's the Bud Light.
Last year's Bud Light Game of Thrones crossover, a prime example.
You need to know that it's going to be an ad that will get people talking and that you'll get that social buzz after the fact.
Leader. That's what Michael Bloomberg's counting on with his Super Bowl campaign ad. So is the man he's trying to replace, President Trump.
This could either be an opportunity to win voters or also to alienate voters if you don't have the right message.
And on Super Bowl Sunday,
yes, Mr. President,
there is no shortage of messages. Typical. Mark Barton, NBC News.
Of course, a lot of people will be watching for the halftime show. Jennifer Lopez is set to take the field after the second quarter Sunday, but she's talking about the significance of the overall game and why it's important, especially this year.
This Super Bowl, I mean, the two teams that are playing, right, the Chiefs and the 49ers are run by women, and then you got two women headlining the halftime show. So it's just that statement alone for me is empowering. When I think of my daughter, when I think of all the little girls of the world, to be able to have that, to see that, two Latinas doing this at this time in this country at this time, it's just very empowering for us.
Shakira will join J-Lo on stage for the halftime show. Both singers say they'll honor the late Kobe Bryant during that performance. All right, let's take a look outside here in downtown Bakersfield this afternoon because it's a big weekend for the Padre Hotel. Although the building was built in the late 1920s, it was renovated and reopened in 2010. And this weekend, it's celebrating 10 years of that renovation. The landmark is known as a gathering place for many with its rooftop bar and pharmacy cafe. And tomorrow, the hotel is celebrating 10 years with a party. It all starts at 9 p.m. The fun goes until 1 a.m., and there's a $10 cover charge. When we come back here on 17 News at noon, another game we're all very excited about this weekend. We'll have a preview of the Puppy Bowl.
All right, it's time for the big game. That's right, the Puppy Bowl. 16 is this Sunday.
Animal Planet's once again fielding two teams for the game. It's Team Rough versus Team Fluff.
Penalty right there, personal foul. I saw that.
Uh-oh. Kevin's dream is to call the Puppy Bowl on Animal Planet. That would be really cool. A few of the furry fullbacks have some special needs this year. Two puppies are hearing impaired, one's blind, and one has 3 legs. And the coolest part about this, in past years, all of the players on the field were adopted following the game. So that is the coolest part. It airs at noon on Sunday.
Encroachment right there. Can't get on the field. You haven't been subbed.
I think you have a future. I'm
Not
going to
really,
send this. No?
Yeah, probably.
You don't know the terms?
No.
Oh, I was going to believe you.
I don't know if that's encroachment or not, to be honest. No, encroachment is you have to be in the game, not on the sideline.
You could have fooled me. We'll see you back tonight at 5.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app in the spirit of the Golden Empire. 17 News.